Starfleet Underground. Every week, we'll take a look at the latest Star Trek news and then check out a current or classic episode of Star Trek. It's the return of Peanut Hamper. Castaway running from the Drookmani. The Exocomp finds her way to a new primitive planet with new people, new love, and new betrayal. It's a new way of life, but is it the same old Peanut Hamper? Yep.
What do you mean you're not mathematically perfect? What the hell? Okay, what's 2 times 2? All right, that's right. What's 154 times 2,000? Yeah, that's right. So what are you talking about? What? No, just because you can't get into Patrick's pants doesn't mean you're imperfect. You're a robot. You're a droid. Patrick doesn't go with machines.
Patrick, I think 007 has a crush on you.
Ew.
No, you can't. It doesn't matter if his ass is symmetrically perfect. No.
That math does not compute.
It doesn't.
No, it does not.
What do you mean you feel inferior? Of course. Okay, first off, the Chief has a reproductive organ. It serves a purpose as large as it is, but you don't need one. So why are you trying to compare your input ports to his?
Is 007 upset?
I don't know what's going on with him. He's got some sort of inferiority complex going on. Somebody, he's not mathematically perfect.
Yeah, he just keeps rolling around saying, I'm not mathematically perfect. I'm like, 007, that is the perfect mathematical name for you.
And what are you talking about that my science officer's breasts are flawless? What the hell are you looking at people like that?
Oh, wait, I like him. Never mind. I take it back. I like 007.
Oh, what do you mean she's got the perfect 45% rule? What the hell?
Golden ratio? Whoa.
Yes. I'm going to have to get you to get a full overhaul.
Hey, 007, head over to 10 forward. I'll get you a quarter 1040. It'll be good, man.
And first off, you have all these nice things to say everybody else. Where the fuck's my backwards compliment? Yeah, no. He says that my compliment is I'm not as tall as Patrick.
Yeah,
what
no.
The fuck? Go to 10 forward. Go to 10 forward. Oh my God, you, huh?
Very few people are as tall as me.
How tall are you?
No shit. It's easy to find him in the crowd.
6'4".
Oh, so, okay.
Go to 10. You made me talk through all of this shit. You know I don't like doing it when the light comes on. 007, what is your major malfunction?
Oh.
Sometimes
it's better with the lights down low.
You don't like doing it at all when the lights are on.
Or candlelight.
All right, go get it done. Chief will take care of you. Not that way. You don't get input that like that. Oh my God. He feels that you're going to go to 10 forward and lay cable, and he's now kind of excited about that.
Oh, I do like to lay cable.
Oh my God. What the hell did we get started with this morning? Did the music even go?
Yeah.
It did?
Yeah, it did.
I didn't even hear it. This guy took all my focus. All right. Yeah.
I'm always blown away at the quality of conversation you can have with something that can only make one sound.
I've learned a little bit of it, just like people with R2-D2. So.
And yeah, for a robot who doesn't talk, he's very vocal.
Very much so.
Yeah, he is. And plus, a lot of people don't realize that R2-D2 has a filthy mouth. That's why they bleep everything he says. Okay, I have a full crew today. My name is Captain Nathan Adams, and you should know that because God forbid if this is the first podcast you listen to us with.
Welcome.
You need to go back and get history. Yeah, welcome.
You only
aboard.
have like 150 episodes to go listen to. It's okay.
Yeah, so go listen to it. We'll wait. Okay, thanks for coming back, I'm assuming. Welcome aboard if you're brand new, as Chief said, to the USS Butler. We are a Defiant class ship. We have a full crew complement, except we don't let the other ones talk. They stay lower deck. So it's only usually the command staff, which is my Chief Science Officer.
Hi, I'm Heather Ferris. I'm the Science Officer. And 007, that is... I don't know. I think that's mathematically perfect, but I don't think he's seen the James Bond movies, so.
Oh, yeah, that could be it.
That's my 2 cents.
And also, we have one of the best computer programmers out there in the fleet who wears double hats. So, and that's my first officer.
Hey, I'm Patrick. I'm number 1. I'm the computer guy and the foreign species liaison. So at least 3 hats.
And then the guy who could wear a hat on either head and it won't fall off, who's also winner of the O'Brien Award. And I dare say the best engineer in Starfleet.
And I do like to lay some cable. Hi, everybody. I'm Rocky. I'm engineer of the show and the ship. And I'm waiting for someone to give me one of those Murf Plushies. I mean, I know people wait in long lines and go find the secret place to go get them in New York, but apparently that's like a big deal. And I would love to get one of those Murf Plushies.
He wants to lay some cable.
Yeah, and everybody, yeah, I'll lay your cable if you give me a Murf Plushie.
No. You want to lay cable with the Murf Plushie.
Well, yeah, I could do that. Sure, why not?
I saw a picture of the Murf plushie. It looks so cute.
Totally.
I think we should all get one somehow.
Yes.
I think that would be really cool. Set them up all over the place, and it would be nice to walk down the corridors and as it goes around. So I think that was nice.
I don't
Can
know
you
if
imagine
we
the
need...
conversation between Murf
I
and the
know.
Tribbles?
I don't know if we need another non-speaking sidekick.
But yeah, it might be fun. So who knows? Okay, this show is being brought to you by Section 31 and our Patreon users. So donators, thank you so much for donating to the show. We really appreciate it. Also, the show is also brought to you by our store that's located on the Lower Decks area. We have all kinds of stuff that you can buy, from mugs, t-shirts, you name it. We have it just about. I know you listen to it for free. And we don't have commercials, but, well, in a sense, this is a commercial. Get our shit. So, also, one item, if you buy, helps finance the show. So that works. I forgot to say that this show is not for young kids. If you're under the age of 17, you got away from it from listening. But yeah, you can't listen. Don't listen. Just stop.
No kids.
Right now.
Go away.
Yeah, because we say all kinds of bad words.
And some of them don't get bleeped.
No.
Most of them don't.
The only way we get bleeped if we say something spoilery, and Section 31 will jump on it.
Yeah, but they let all the swear words fly. So,
well, that's
It's
true.
only the important things they censor us on. Like,
yeah, they will do that. Okay.
News stories?
No, not yet. There's corrections.
Let me see here. Dum, 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 dum. Nope, no corrections.
What? We're flawless again?
Obviously, that's what no corrections means.
I didn't know that. Now you're going to make me feel like I'm mathematically imperfect.
Well, you are. You are, Blanche. You are.
Uh-huh. Well, now that we got the correction stuff out of the way, next is going to be the news. So, Heather, what do you got for a somewhat juicy tidbit have you found out on the airwaves?
well, hopefully Section 31 doesn't censor me on this. But on Twitter, and you're going to have to help me with this, Patrick, Terry
Matalas,
thank you. He slipped up on Twitter, and he ended up giving us a huge spoiler for Season 3 of Picard. So we see that the old Next Generation crew comes back, but the spoiler is at least one of them is going to die in Season 3.
oh, come on.
We don't know who.
That's the
We
spoiler.
don't know how, but one of them is going to die in Season 3. I thought that was a good
Picard.
spoiler. You don't think that's a good spoiler?
Everybody dies at some point. That's not really
But
a
this
spoiler.
is the Next Generation bridge crew. These people lived for how many movies and seasons?
it'll be data lore.
I was thinking it was Picard, and that's why it's the end of Season 3.
Well, Picard died already.
Well,
so.
he is old.
True. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
really zombie Picard.
Mm-hmm.
Android Picard.
Zombie Jesus.
Zombie android Picard.
Zombie Jesus.
No, yeah, it's just we don't know. It might be. I can't really see anybody else, but whatever it is probably going to be impactful.
Mhm.
So that's a really good news. And it is, in a way, even though it's a spoiler, not really, because we know who's going to die, but we don't know who. We know someone's going to die. So anytime something exciting happens on the show, it's like, shit, I wonder if this is the one. And they could do an okey doke and switch it. And it's not him. It's going to be this one. Oh, wait, the death is a random crew member. That's fucked.
I just
Okay.
want to know if they're going to see a koala at the end of it all.
I want that so badly.
And that would be cool if they do that. That would be cool if they did. Well, they did the first Okie Doke. They did it with Wrath of Khan. Word get out that Spock was going to die, and people lost their shit. There was letter campaigns, there was protests, everything else. And so what happened is that when the movie started and Spock, quote unquote, died in the first simulation of the Kobayashi Maru, people went, oh, so he really didn't die. Okay, so that's cool. And at the end,
Oh, spoiler alert.
yeah, so
If you haven't
they
seen the
were like-
movie.
yeah, for anyone who didn't see the movie, I'll just say, remember.
And then don't forget to watch Star Trek 3 afterward.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen it, what the fuck have you been doing?
Yeah, thank you.
Some
It's been
people
out
are
forever.
younger, they can't
I
get all
haven't-
the movies in.
I haven't seen all the movies. I was actually hoping that before we go back to Enterprise, we could get a couple movies in because there's a few movies I want to see, but I don't want to watch them because I'll feel like I need to do the homework. So
You know what? We can just do a movie and not really have a homework about it. Just have a random a discussion. I think that would work. Be a free flow. Not say what the movie's about because then we could discuss about the movie and do a crisscross and jump around.
Cause inside out,
Jump
it's
around.
wicked and wicked and wicked and whack.
jump up,
So
jump
I
up,
think
and
that
get
would
down.
All right. Number one,
Okay, well, I got two sort of things.
both
William
of them
Shatner.
dangle. Oh,
Yeah. One of them in Shatner's new book, Boldly Go, Reflections of a Life of Awe and Wonder. He talks about when he went up to space and he had what's called the overview effect, which is not uncommon among astronauts, where when someone travels to space and view Earth from orbit, the sense of the planet's fragility takes hold in an ineffable, instinctive manner. And so it shifts their worldview and their identity in a way that they look at the planet, but also other things like countries, religions, ethnicities, and it can prompt an instant reevaluation of our shared harmony and a shift in the focus of all the wonderful things that we have in common that make it, instead of what make us different. So he had this overwhelming sense of sadness and stuff when he went up there, apparently is what he's saying. And the other thing is leading to sadness. He also talks about when Nimoy died. Apparently, a couple years before Nimoy died, they had stopped talking. And Shatner tried to reach out to him, but he wouldn't answer his phone calls. He wrote him a heartfelt letter saying how much he loved him and wished him well, but Nimoy apparently didn't respond. So, and then he goes on to talk about how George Takei is not a well man,
Okay.
which, fuck him. But yeah.
there's a thing that's out there. The people that I've talked to that was aware of the whole situation between him is that when he was on the show, he would take
Stole
people's
lines.
lines. Yeah. And he wouldn't fight for the crew. He just didn't. He was more very centered. And when
Well, the
Spock
crew didn't like him very much, right? Like
No.
the bridge crew, none of them were really they dealt with him basically.
yeah, but they didn't. When he had his butt hurt also when Leonard Nimoy got popular and started to get more fan mail than he did, he felt that he was the star. He should get all the fan mail.
It's interesting the egos. You look back at these actors when they were in their 20s and or 30s or whatever age it was, and they become some pretty hot shit. And you get up on this show, and it was a big deal. The first time you get, Star Trek was like how many other shows were like Star Trek before Star Trek? I mean, it was a huge deal. And they talk about the fan mail they would get and the impact that show has made over time. It's amazing. But you got to remember, these are just people on, acting, and they're just doing their job, and then they've gone through things. So you go from that point in life to this point in life now. The man has seen the earth from a certain point of view, and he's talked at thousands of conventions, and he's been on these shows, and he's done all these wonderful things, and he's got a completely different viewpoint now versus then. I mean, maybe he still has the big ego. That happens. But and to go back and look at the relationship between, we look at Shatner and Nimoy as Kirk and Spock. How can you separate Kirk and Spock? It's crazy. But the people that play them throughout all this, the massive stories of the actual actors going through life and doing things, it's a completely different head shift, So it hurts to hear that these guys didn't always get along perfectly.
Well, you bring up a valid point. about how we look at them as their characters, but we tend to forget that they're human beings with flaws and problems. Like one of the things, even though we like to talk about Shatner and how he does things, but I've known people who worked on Boston Legal, and Shatner, of course, was famously on Boston Legal, did a really good job with that with Spader. Mm-hmm. And what happened is that there was an AD who was berating the extras in the courtroom scene, and Shatner heard it. And so he walked in and basically yelled at the AD saying, "These are actors. You will treat them with respect and you will treat them nicely, or you're going to get thrown off the show." And apologize to these people. And Shatner made the AD apologize. And when they went to thank him, it says, "Thank you, Mr. Shatner." He says, "No, just call me Bill." So you hear stories like that where he's really nice and kind, and it makes you wonder if he's got a touch of bipolar. But then they hear other stories where he just won't acknowledge other people, or when he talked to Crusher, and about not Crusher. Oh my God, what the hell is his name? I said his character name, not him. On the after show.
You mean Will Wheaton?
Wheaton. Gotcha.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was apparently a bad experience.
Yeah, so about how you wonder about the person when you talk to him, whether or not if he was in headspace, how his headspace was. But,
my headspace is always good.
This is true.
You have good spacing on your head, sir?
Yes.
Yeah. There's lots of room in there.
Yeah. Shatner's a character, though. We all, you've seen him enough in interviews and guest TV appearances and various shows. He's totally a character. He's different than most of us. And that's unique about him. Mm-hmm. And it makes it hard to get a real true gauge on the man that is Shatner sometimes. So, because he has so many facets to him, and he is not perfect. People have good days, people have bad days. Yep. People have great moments and people have really shitty moments. And to magnify them in the spotlight of the world that is fandom is a very, very difficult thing to live with sometimes. So I've got to, I'd give the man a big hug one way or the other.
And like I said, there's times where the fans have met him and he's been gracious and nice. And there's times he met him, he's been extremely dismissive. So like the time that Number One and I were at the red carpet event, and he was going through signing autographs, which I thought was a great boon because he normally charges $150 for that. And when he was coming over to where I was literally the last person before he went into the building. And when he got up to me, I looked at him and said, "Last fan before exit." And he started to laugh his ass off, and somebody caught the picture. So there's moments like that.
He was probably laughing because he's like, "Oh, there's a black man. Oh.
I'm an anomaly, but that's okay."
Right. It's a space anomaly.
Boy, I thought it was Forrest Whitaker was getting his autograph.
Right.
Oh, that's happened. So, which is really funny. Okay. Did you finish your news articles, Number One?
Yep.
Okay. So that means, Chief, what do you got?
My turn? Okay,
yes,
so Strange New Worlds, this wonderful new Star Trek TV show everyone's going crazy about.
What is that?
Has been nominated for an Audio Description People's Choice Award. This is from the American Council of the Blind. They're casting votes still. Apparently October 10th, which is just around the corner, is the date to finish casting all your votes by. But you can go to www.acb.org/2022-AD-peoples-choice to find out more about this. I think it's very cool. They're nominated. Although, audio descriptions, when you watch a show with captions, it's one thing, but when you get an audio description, I honestly haven't listened to the show like that. I don't know where I can get that, but people who, are visually impaired need to know what's going on visually, and they listen to a track that has audio descriptions of it. And apparently Strange New Worlds has done a really good job of it.
Cool.
Yeah, I sometimes will watch with it because, I don't want to have the volume of the television really up there, and some shows do a really good job. Like there was one I was watching last night where there was something dramatic going on, and the audio description on the bottom says dramatic music ends.
Yeah, it's something else. It's a different trip. If you watch a show just with the captions, you're experiencing the show and how somebody who can't hear is actually experiencing the show. That's a trip and a half. And then for the people who are visually impaired, I mean, Star Trek is a wonderful, awesome thing, but if you can't see a phaser hit, you don't know what the hell's going on. So to get an audio description of it is to come along with the show and enjoy the show like everybody else. that's got to be a very unique and tricky job to pull off, and to be awarded for it, or at least nominated for it. That's amazing.
It is. Okay. Before we,
I was going to say, that's my one little piece of news. I actually have a second piece.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've heard it's as big as 2 pieces. So go ahead.
I'm really excited about this other piece of news.
Can tell.
Because Gates McFadden's show Investigates is really, really, really good. If you guys haven't heard her podcast, it's wonderful. And they're announcing she has a second season coming. And she's going to have guests like William Shatner, never heard of him. Who is that guy? And Kate Mulgrew, as well as many other people in her second season, including Anson Mount, Tawny Newsome, Jack Quaid, John Billingsley, and many others. The first season, if you haven't heard it yet, go listen, because it's good stuff to listen to. Jonathan Frakes was on it. LeVar Burton, Michael Dorn, Marina Sirtis, Brent Spiner, and Will Wheaton.
So for those of us who haven't listened to it yet, what is it like? Like, as someone who's listened to it, does she talk about the show? Does she talk about experiences? What is it like listening to the show?
It's a very good podcast, and Gates McFadden is incredible as a show host. I have to give the biggest props. I'm surprised she doesn't host more of the panels at the Star Trek conventions, because she's very good at this stuff. But she calls it Gates McFadden Investigates. Who do you think you are? And she just sits down and talks with her friends from way long ago and just talk about what makes them who they are and what they do. And they're wonderful conversations to listen to.
So as a person, like not as an actor playing this character?
Well, they'll talk about little moments that happen maybe during the show, but most of it's about, how did they come up? What's their upbringing like? What makes them who they are. It's very interesting. I remember some favorite moments from hearing about her talk about music that their parents would listen to with Jonathan Frakes, to Michael Dorn talking about flying because he's a pilot. All kinds of stories like this, just fascinating. So I'm really excited to hear the new season.
Is the link to this in the show notes?
It's a podcast. It's on every podcast. We'll just say, go find the podcast. It's Gates McFadden Investigates. If you want to spell it out, invest. It's just the word invest with an I at the end of it, and Gates.
That's pretty cool. I'm glad that she in person is a really nice person. Her and Nana Visitor are just awesome.
Who also had an amazing episode to listen to on that thing.
Yeah. So it's just, thank you for that bit of news. So, of course, after you listen to our podcast, go ahead and check hers out. But make sure you listen to us first, because consider us the ginger of podcasting. We hope cleanse your palate.
You can listen to her stuff first if you want. They only come out one at a time, so it's all good.
Okay. Yeah, listen to hers first, and then come and listen to us get really off the rails. So that'll work. Now,
I'm waiting for her to interview a Tribble.
That would be a fun one.
I wonder if we can get one of ours on the show. So ours has been on all kinds of shows lately. Now, if you're in New York right now, there's going to be the New York Comic Con that's out there that's happening. So maybe you listen to us before or after, who knows? But if you listen to us after, you're going to become disappointed, because they're going to have all kinds of good stuff that's happening. There's going to be an exclusive, and it's going to be a Picard figure. The Super Sevens announced that they have a homage to the toys, to the toys of yesterday, and they have a Next Generation line, and they're going to have a Captain Picard action figure. So that's going to be pretty cool. He's going to be in a blue translucent plastic with glitter effects that simulate him beaming from somewhere. It's very, very well done. I've seen the figure, and it's got a holograph card that's also very, very cool. He's only going to be there. So if you're in there right now, head over to booth 1325 to get them. So you really, really got to do that. And if you get a bunch of them, just don't sell them. Just send some to the crew here. Just go ahead and reach out to us on the collective at starfleetunderground.com. Ask us for our mailing address. I think we have one on Earth somewhere.
We'll find one someplace.
Yeah. So you'll be able to send it out, and that would be very, very cool. So that'll work. Also, I have a good authority that there's going to be a Murf collectible here. Isn't that right, Chief?
Murf Plushy.
Yeah, there's going to be a Murf Plushy. Now, if you can't get the Picard figure for us, get the Murf Plushies. I mean, you will hear Heather make noises that she normally makes behind closed doors. She would be so happy. So make sure you'll be able to do that. And Patrick, even though you would think he would do unspeakable things to the plushie, he won't. He's very nice and kind. He'll have him on the shelf somewhere to watch out for everything.
He has other toys for that.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Apparently, he's in fact, well, not him, but 007's infatuated with his butt. So,
and he cannot lie.
There's that. No,
he's not good at math apparently, but he cannot lie.
No, so he's very excited about that. And Chief will have the Murf plushie be able to get rid of hazardous waste in engineering.
It's a very useful tool. Yes. And it's cute. It's very cute.
Yeah, so when somebody throws something out or if they wreck it, even the lower decks crew talks about, well, that was Murfed. So it's pretty cool. It's made it into our language. Okay, now that we've gotten all out of the way, and we might as well get ready to jump into the reason why we have this podcast, the review of the show. And we're doing right now, if you've forgotten, what are we doing?
This week we are doing Star Trek Lower Decks Season 3, Episode 7, A Mathematically Perfect Redemption.
Oh, shit. Is that why 007's doing what he's doing? Did he watch the show again?
He probably did. That's probably exactly what happened.
Now, okay.
This episode first aired on October 6, 2022. Teaser, previously on Lower Decks. We are taken back to Season 1, Episode 10, No Small Parts, where our beloved crew is in mortal danger, and Peanut Hamper is the only one who can save the day. She declines, causing the death of Shax and many others. Boy, is she glad she beamed herself into outer space and away from that mess. As she watches the fight from a safe distance, the Titan appears just in the nick of time, saving the day. The Titan tows the Cerritos away, leaving Peanut Hamper behind, floating aimlessly in space for God knows how long.
That was kind of funny. They replayed that whole first scene, but added on to it.
They started with the cliche, previously. Star Trek.
Yeah, when I saw that, I'm like, previously, wait, what did I miss?
Was it just me, or were the recaps just a handful, just a little bit reenacted, a little over the top? Like they re-recorded those a little extra crazy, right?
It was pretty
extra
wild.
dramatic.
Yeah.
It was an extra dramatic recap.
Well, they made this from Peanut Hamper's point of view, right? So it's a different person, a different perspective watching it.
That is true, yeah.
And then Peanut Hamper's all self-satisfied, snug and everything. Hey, look what this is. This is so cool. You know, I made it out. Y'all got to suffer. Y'all going to die. Wait a minute.
Where'd everyone go?
This attractive. They be insane. They'll remember me. When they scan for artificial light.
Yeah. And
if they remember.
And then you see them driving away.
I love that. Oh, hold on a second. There's the Titan now. That's a crew that'll respect a robot. And it just right by.
Doesn't even stand.
That was so funny.
Well, Peanut Hamper's ego's getting checked.
That was so funny.
Well, someone needed to check it.
Yeah.
And the actress that does the voices did a perfect Karen Peanut Hamper.
Yes.
It was so funny.
It was so Karen. Oh my God. I literally hated Peanut
the
Hamper.
whole thing, the whole time.
Yeah.
It's funny because, we always wonder, well, I was one of those people that wondered, whatever did happen to Peanut Hamper? Mm-hmm. And it's fun to actually see this is what's going to happen to Peanut Hamper. But I also loved that they completely did the open of the show, especially different for just Peanut Hamper.
That was so beautiful.
Twirling through space. I thought it was beautiful. They did the music in a slower tempo. And again, it's often overlooked because it's just such a funny show. But the music on Lower Decks is some of the best Star Trek music that's been recorded, in my opinion.
And the artwork's really good too. I mean, they just do a phenomenal job all the way around.
Yeah, it's just so well done. It's great.
Mm-hmm. I love seeing the sun at the end, the big old star.
Toots.
Much love to that opening.
That was really cool because that was sciencey looking.
That was.
It really was a really kind of a cool opening. And like you said, for people who wondered what happened, it's nice to do a quick little memory refresher. There's people who may not have seen the show or stepped in the middle of it. And if it started just with Peanut Hamper, and go, what the fuck's that all about? Where did that come from?
Well, I love that Peanut Hamper's point of view is really shown there because she's like, Wait, they wanted me to do that? Those people are fucking crazy.
I only knew them for 3 months.
Yeah, it's like they wanted me to do that. I barely knew those people.
I just became alive. I couldn't do that. Sacrifice myself.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of funny.
Now, the name of the show, A Mathematically Perfect Redemption, is calling back to season 1, episode 10, No Small Parts, where Peanut Hamper got her name because it was mathematically perfect. Like, that's how she got Peanut Hamper. And we've seen exocomps before. We saw an exocom on Next Generation Season 6, Episode 9, The Quality of Life. They had to have it on a string, which is why it like sort of swings, because it's like on a string. And that's why when we see Peanut Hamper in this show,
That's
she
how it
kind of like,
hovers?
she kind of swings back and forth to mimic that.
You're telling me it was a string?
It was a string.
It didn't have anti-grav pods built into the bottom?
You're saying Peanut Hamper's bi? She swings both
Oh, that's
ways.
hilarious.
That would be interesting. Peanut Hamper is a swinger, isn't she?
Well,
Oh, we know she does birds.
Spoiler alert. I love these exocomps because they're just the coolest and you think the most morally correct creatures that are just robots, basically. In that Next Generation episode, when you see this one in Lower Decks, Peanut Hamper's the most corrupt, morally crazy,
she
insane,
is selfish, like manipulative, self-serving.
She's the Trump of Exocomps.
She
Yeah.
really is. She's all out for number one right there herself.
It was a really kind of cool, but again, this show, I can't wait to get my rating. It was pretty cool. I guess we can get ready to go for the next section because we just left Peanut Hamper in the opening, floating in space, finding that she's not important as she thought she was.
Aye, Captain. Act 1, Castaway. Peanut Hamper is pissed as she bitches to Wilson for weeks on end. Stranded and left to her own devices, she slowly builds a warp engine with a seat. Just before she finishes, the Drookmani, is that how you say it, Patrick?
I believe so, I think.
Okay. The Drookmani scavengers appear and almost kill Peanut, but she sacrifices Wilson at the last second and barely escapes. Unfortunately, her crotch rocket falls apart mid-warp, flinging Peanut to a nearby planet. Peanut wakes up, alive and cared for thanks to an old bird man. Be our guest, let me scrape that off your chest. Peanut Hamper could get used to this. Her host, the village leader, introduces her to everyone, including his son, Rawdog, which has some foreshadowing right there. He is tasked with showing Peanut around how to fix a roof, how not to get eaten by a skysnake, and how to milk a goat. First, check its gender. Just then, some villagers cry out, "The skysnake bit Rawdog's father. He's doomed. Death is certain. And now they just have to say their goodbyes." Peanut Hamper rolls her eyes. Boom! Anti-venom, bitches, saving the day. Peanut, peanut, peanut. Yeah, calm down. It's called science.
Okay, the double entendres that they did in this show.
Did you notice that too?
Oh my God, the planet Areola.
Yup.
And the leader is the Kaltaurus.
I just like, what the hell? It just was. There was another one. Oh my God, what was it?
They literally say Rawdog on there.
Yeah, so
Yes.
that's it.
Well, his name was Rawdog.
I know, but they
But-
literally say Rawdog on there.
But it was so funny. It's like that they were horny when they wrote this.
It was
Because
hilarious.
it's like the planet Areola. I was like, oh my God. They
I
did not just say that.
think a woman wrote this.
And Rada was played by Harry Shrum from Glee.
Oh, that was pretty cool.
It was a gleeful show.
That's casting right there.
I thought it was
Star Trek casting is something else.
and the
Yeah.
fact that she's rubbing one out.
This was written by Ann Kim. So this was written by a woman, and I love her sense of humor.
It was funny. It was really funny. She's laying there getting a basically a rub job.
Yes.
She's like,
Oh, you're not going to stab me with that knife. You're not going to.
Ooh,
that's
Oh,
nice.
yeah.
That feels
Ooh, a little to the
good.
left. Yeah.
Little spot. Go now. Go work on that side. It's like, wow. I just thought that was so funny. And again, she's doing kind of nice things in a way, but bitching about it. It's like, I feel even better than I did before. It's called a vitamin pack. You were deficient in everything.
Yup.
Peanut Hamper is an amazing head trip to me because an Exocomp is basically a floating Swiss Army knife of tools to fix things. That's what they were. And now it's self-intelligent. So that's awesome. But what if the intelligence has this attitude about things? and that's Peanut Hamper right there. And it's got Starfleet medical training. It's like a perfect combination of things.
And where did she stick that hypo spray? Where was that hypo spray from?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Well, she's got a replicator on the front of her nozzle. That's how she gives the candy to the kids.
Oh my God.
It's just a replicator.
When she was in the bedroom and she was throwing the tennis balls on the wall and it was just a replicated, like a mess of tennis balls.
That's something else. I'm not sure what exactly that reference is,
I
but
think
it's
that
funny.
references the movie with Steve McQueen was a Papillon, where they put him in solitary and he kept throwing the tennis ball off the wall and catching it.
Yeah. And that's
okay.
a normal thing
I
for
remember
someone to
that
do
one.
when they're bored. Begin driving?
Oh my God! Did he make it into your room with a voice synthesizer, Chief,
So.
or was that number one?
That was me.
Why is he in your room? Begin driving. Oh, he is not trying to get you in the ass, is he?
Don't ride him.
No.
He's supposed to send him back to 10 forward. He's not supposed to be. You're probably picking something off the floor, and he looked at your ass and goes, "Begin driving." So get him out of there.
Yeah.
Now, did you guys, when the bird leader, when he said, "You are the first visitor in my lifetime," and Peanut's like, "Oh, fuck." And bird leader, he's like, I have no idea what the dude's name is. He's like, "I beg your pardon?" And Peanut's like, "Yeah, it's just something we space folks say when we're stranded on a backwater planet with no culture." Like, I was fucking laughing my ass
It's like,
off.
yes, fuck indeed.
Fuck indeed.
It's just
funny. Classic.
It really, like a double dumbass on you. It was funny. It was the first scene, the first act here was really funny. Again, and you have Rawdog is showing the hate. Rawdog is just not liking Peanut Hamper at all.
Well, I love that right off the bat, the leader's like, "Hey, every living being deserves our respect." I thought that was really cool. And he may be backwards from a bird planet, but he's got the right idea, right? I like that.
Well, we find out later that they're not backwards. They're actually pretty intelligent.
Yeah, they're quite intelligent, and they've been there and they've done that. They just left their ships underneath and preferred to live in the trees.
Yeah, they choose that.
I just thought it's like, what do you mean? Everything on this planet flies?
Why is it called a Skysnake? Why can't you just call it a snake?
Oh, that was
Everything's got
hilarious.
wings. I love that logic. And she's like, "Hey, my universal translator can't even make you guys sound smart. It's not me, it's you."
That's yeah.
I mean, the arrogance of Peanut Hamper is just like, it's just off the charts.
Oh, yeah.
She feels that's the thing that really gets me is that, okay, I don't mind people correcting me. I really don't when I make a mistake. I mind when people correct me or you correct someone else and it's condescending about it. That is a little bit more of an issue.
You mean like would I correct everyone?
Well, you have social capital, so you can get away with it.
When Peanut Hamper does it, she's dripping with condescension and sarcasm.
I'm just slathered in it. I'm not dripping. I'm just covered.
Wait,
in
you're
it.
slathered in what? And you're
it's
doing
true.
what with the captain?
Hey.
We should probably go on to Act 2.
No, yeah.
Yes. Let's move on.
Okay,
to
Act 2.
It's ew.
Master Manipulator. Peanut Hamper realizes that she is stuck on this planet, so she tries to make the best of things. She heals the villagers so they'll like her, and then she fucks the village leader's son to gain a higher social standing. Love-struck, Rawdog goes all Avatar on her and shows Peanut his secret ancestral land. Just like Daenerys and Jon Snow, the history is written in the walls, full of plot twists, lost technologies, and foreshadowing before they fuck again. Weeks later, the Drookmani... Sorry.
Drookmani.
The Drookies...
No, we're not. Drew did not come on me. No.
Oh, I wasn't expecting that.
Not today, anyway.
Who is Drew and why do you want him to come on you? What?
Oh my God. Okay. Weeks later, the Drookmani, thank you, salvage ship arrives and take the Birdman's ancient ships. Peanut activates her distress beacon for Starfleet when Captain Freeman picks up the distress call. She is happy to have a little chat with her wayward ensign. Peanut saves the day just in time for Starfleet to arrive and see her heroic acts. As everyone is cheering and congratulating each other, the Drookmani arrive and accuse Peanut of cheating them over. You said there would be no resistance, see? Oh shit, they played Peanut's damning voicemail as everyone realizes what a two-faced sociopath Peanut Hamper really is.
This whole act had stuff in it that I just thought was just...
Well, most acts have stuff.
No, but this act had a lot of stuff.
It had a lot of,
first
oh
off,
my God, are they going there? Oh yeah, they're going there.
They're going
They're
there.
totally going there.
They
that
went
little
there.
replicator in the front apparently is more than just an output.
It can change into whatever tool Peanut Hamper wants to have,
Oh my.
which is an amazing thing to have. That's how she was able to float around in space and build her own little warp chair. But yeah, but she can change it into something that helps the eggs fertilize. She can change it into something that makes you fertilize. I mean, she's pretty good at stuff.
It was just a whole thing. It's like she's basically seduces Rawdog.
Oh,
and he
manipulates.
raw dogs her.
He totally raw dogged her. That was so funny.
You know, and you hear, oh, this is, oh my God.
How I
and then
long for the touch of your nozzle.
so it was like, wow.
They went Avatar. I mean, they
Big
did the
time.
whole
Wow.
love scene. They went through, the glowing plants. They had
They
sex.
banged in the trees.
Yes,
Get
it was
married.
completely Avatar. Yeah.
They get married.
And
so,
when they got married, did you notice Peanut Hamper had like a little beak?
Yes.
yeah, with the and the veil.
Yeah, in the veil.
It's so funny. And it's like you and him, you are a bonded pair now. So I just thought that was so funny. And then it's like those ships come back and she didn't want to be a hero, but for some reason you think
It
that
turned
okay.
out you thought she was sending out a message for Starfleet, which in fact she left a hell of a voicemail for the Drookmani to come.
And full of Karenisms.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
I mean,
You see-
this episode should have just been called Karen Calls.
You should have seen, yeah, exactly. That's
Karen
Drookmani.
calls
The Drookmani were like, oh God, the Karen calls. I'm sorry, that was so funny, dude.
Now, the Drookmani, we've seen them before in season 1, episode 6, Terminal Provocation. So they came back for this one.
First you get the Cerritos comes, and it basically kind of, is that this act or next?
Wait a minute, who came?
Oh, you did. Is this?
Yeah,
oh,
it's this one.
If you don't know who came first, then you're doing it wrong.
It was this act. They came in this act.
Who told me before that sex is a sport? So if you come first, you win.
No.
You
No.
did.
Then the other person's got to get better at it.
No. Doesn't work that way.
So I didn't think
Well,
so.
it does if you're by yourself.
Is that why you're by yourself?
Well,
That's why he's all hanging out and going, winning.
well,
I always win.
is that why when I go by your quarters, I hear that
I
song?
come in first place.
Everybody win, win, win.
Oh my.
So I guess the ultimate insult is when your hand falls asleep.
Or your mouth.
Trust me, it's happened on a number of occasions.
That's called doing something
The
else.
stranger.
Yeah, the stranger.
It's called the
yeah.
stranger. Okay.
Going back
I'm
to the
trying to figure out
episode.
where we are so I don't jump ahead.
The ship, the Drookmani ship, Drookmani, whatever.
Drookmani.
It looked like one big stun gun.
So the Cerritos gets there and Peanut Hamper is like, yeah, we're going to save you. You did such a great job. And then Peanut Hamper goes and lies. He goes, wait, she told us we could come here. There'd be no pushback. No, I didn't. Wrote a song about it. Like to hear it. Here it goes. And they have her on The Voice.
Yeah.
And poor Rawdog's like, no, say this isn't true.
Oh, he's crying. He's always a crier.
He cries even after sex. That was hilarious.
It was so funny. And that's a thing. They said some people are predisposed to do that.
Crying after
And
sex.
some
That's
others
a
are
thing?
predisposed. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, it
really
is.
a thing?
I didn't realize.
Yeah, they said some people, they said not everyone, but some people cry after having after having an orgasm. Some fall asleep and some
I thought you
laugh.
just leave the money on the end table and you leave.
Oh, no.
Oh, it's true. It was a thing.
God.
Yeah, this guy followed this woman home, and she had like all these stuffed animals on her wall. The big ones were on the top. Next size was on the next shelf, and all the way on the bottom was a small shelf. And so they go at it and everything. And in the morning, he gets up and leaves, and he gets ready to go. And he goes, I just want to ask you a question. What's all those stuffed animals for? She says, oh, they're like prizes. I used to work in a carnival. And so I'd like to give them out to anybody I brought home, depending upon how well they did. He goes, oh, really? Which one I'm taking? She goes, you could take anything from the lower shelf.
Oh.
Okay, that was a bad little joke. Yeah, but
Damn.
but you see that she thought this plan out. So the whole time you thought she was being nice during the episode, she actually was planning on fucking these people over.
It's
She was playing
amazing
them.
because the needs of the many equation is brought up, and you're realizing like, oh my God, Peanut Hamper's coming around. She's going to be able to be a good exocomp and take care of bird people and be a loving person and individual. And no, not whatsoever. Inside that little mind of hers, she's just as devious and distraught as she was before.
She's a Karen.
Basically, if Peanut Hamper is being nice to you, watch out. Something's going on.
Yeah, so that, yeah.
And it fascinates me because, if someone's going to put one over on you and keep it from you right in front of your face, there's only so much time that can go by before you start to realize something. And the thing with Peanut Hamper is because she's a machine, she can keep it up as long as she wants to. It's like a switch she can
good
throw.
point.
So if she wants to fuck you over, she can continue to do it and continue doing it, and you have no idea. So that's how she has the time and patience, although she hates it, to last, you see the seasons change throughout, and they get married, and Peanut Hamper's still there. And so we're all thinking, she's come around, she's become a good bot. And in fact,
she's just playing the long game.
Just playing the long game like she can, because she's an exocomp.
Wow. She's a cunt.
Yeah, pretty much so.
She's an exocunt.
Not to be confused with Michael Cunt. It's just Mission Impossible.
Oh, I loved how Peanut Hamper wanted to run away to Free Cloud and become a Dabo girl. I'm like, yeah, that's fitting for Peanut Hamper.
That was awesome because it was like, wait, what? That's what she wanted to be when she grew up? I'm blown away.
Yeah, a Dabo girl.
Peanut Hamper, the Dabo girl. Dabo!
That would have been funny. Okay, I guess we could move on to the last section.
Aye, Captain. Act 3. HAL 9000 Con. The Drookmani are furious and attack. The battle begins back and forth with a surprise save from Rawdog. Starfleet kicks ass and throws Peanut Hamper in their evil computer jail right next to AGIMUS. They hit it off instantly.
Of course they do.
Yeah, I know, right? It's like, of course they would like each other.
When Rawdog's on this ship, and first off, it was an even bigger ship than the other one was, and he has to give the Birdman, Hawkman scream.
That was so hilarious.
Fire.
And then that one time when they were together and he was holding her and she's like, sing for me. And he does that and she's like, holy fucking shit, that scared the Christ out of me. Don't do that again.
That really kind of surprised me. If thankfully I wasn't drinking, that would have been a spit take.
Yeah, because you're not expecting
totally
it.
would have been.
You thought maybe he was going to actually sing something romantic, and he just goes,
that was so
what he was saying was gaga, gaga. Lady Gaga.
He's a
Lady
fan.
Gaga.
Just like in Galaxy Quest, when I saw it in the movie, I actually did do a spit take. Is when he's in the limo and he's trying to hit on the woman next to him, and they're all talking about how we need your help. And he goes, "What's wrong with her? She doesn't speak. No, her translator is broken." And she looks and goes, I scream.
What did she say? What did she say?
She's like,
You do that really well.
that was so funny. Oh my God. They arrest her, and you look at this, it's like, okay, are they going to revisit and have an episode where they break out with AGIMUS? And
that would be cool.
that's really good.
That would be really cool.
because they could say they can put her in jail, but they made a point out of those two talking to one another.
What are we going to do today, Pinky? We're going to take over the world.
I think it's awesome because now AGIMUS has somebody that's really, really evil and good next to him. Because before he was just dealing with 1011. Guess what I'm thinking?
Who's an idiot?
I'm thinking of a battery. Oh, but I told you that. And it's just...
I know. That was funny. That was funny. But now he's got a Swiss Army knife.
And now, and then all the computers start laughing at the same time. And it's like, hey, you can't laugh with me. Stop laughing with us. This is our
oh my God.
That was
funny.
hilarious.
It was great. And I have to just give a huge shout out to the animators because just a little detail. When I paused it, I was reading the sign. It literally says it's the self-aware megalomaniacal computer storage. That's
awesome.
what the sign says in front of all those crazy computer bots.
And you see that, AI is not perfect because they got a whole fucking wall of them.
They've got a building full of them.
That's a good
away
point.
Outside and you see it's a building.
That's a really good point.
AI will be our downfall.
It's all over, just like what happened with Mars when the shipyard blew up. This is too much. So it's definitely. Oh wait, that hasn't happened yet, right?
Technically,
that
no.
did
It
happen.
depends on when
It
in the
did
story.
happen for us, right?
Because I don't think this is where this is taking place. It's in between.
I was going to say it's a spoiler. Okay, if you're listening to this podcast, you have anything to do with the Mars ship building later on, put better fail safes. That's all I got to say. And treat your androids better.
I love how AGIMUS is voiced by Jeffrey Combs, and if they do bring AGIMUS and Peanut Hamper back, I can't wait to see them take over the world.
That would be so awesome.
That would be so funny. Jeffrey Combs is just gold.
I love that they brought him back to the voice,
Yes.
and they also brought JG back for the Drookmani guy. I love that they brought these wonderful actors back to do more voices for the show.
It's nice to see. It really is. I enjoyed this episode very much so. Hold on a second. Number one.
What?
Your Uber shuttle is here. So I guess we should start wrapping up.
Okay.
You ordered an Uber shuttle, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay. It's apparently it's outside of docking bay 7. So just to let you know.
You can take the shortcut through the airlock. Wink, wink.
Oh no, 007 is heading over there.
Uh-oh. I just heard him. He's like,
Yeah.
no, perfect ass cannot leave me. Oh, so we're going to get ready to get going.
You're welcome to take him along with you.
Yeah, just be careful. He's in love with you for some reason.
Use protection.
Yes.
You don't know where that bot's been.
It's got receptacles and opening. He came in my quarters the other day with a pair of fake boobs and a fleshlight. So
Yeah,
I'm telling
and we
you.
have that. If you want to see that image, we have that up on Patreon. So
Oh, so you got it. I took because I couldn't believe it. So I took a
we got an
picture of it.
image of that, and we put it up on Patreon.
And I mentioned this on Twitter, but our Instagram account had an ad come at us. You know how they throw ads at you all the time, and they seem to be relevant to certain things for some reason. But we got an ad about sexual health. And I'm like, why is Instagram giving us an ad about sexual health? I don't think any of us are having sex right now, right?
They listen to the podcast and they just assume
Just
that
with
somebody is as massive as you are and Patrick's ass being as perfect as it is that you guys don't have significant others on the ship. So that's what they're probably thinking that you need sexual health for.
Yeah, I
Wow,
think they
they
heard
got-
about what you do too, sir.
Oh, yeah, but they're not supposed to know about that because I's the captain. So they shouldn't.
Maybe Section 31 got involved.
He
They
probably Googled it.
I thought I saw
Did you-
somebody cloaked in the room when I was taking care of business every day. So taking care of it. And I woke up with jelly and honey on me and I don't remember doing anything.
And jelly and honey, that's not what Heather would do because she keeps that stuff in the kitchen.
So I don't.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yep. What he said. Yes.
So I don't know. Well, let's get going because Patrick's Uber is going to start charging them by Federation credits. So let's go ahead and do the rating. Heather, what would you give it?
I give this episode a 9.5. I am loving Lower Decks. It is my favorite series out of all of them. And every episode, they just hit it out of the park.
Number one?
I'll give it a 9.
Ooh.
It was really funny.
It really was.
And it evokes emotion because I did not like Peanut Hamper at all.
It did. The actress that
Ditto.
did the voice did a great job of being annoying. So you just want to tell her, why don't you just shut the fuck up? Even when she was nice, she was annoying. So How about you, Chief?
I loved this episode so much. It's got so many things going for it. I mean, even Peanut Hamper had Sophie, the Wilson. That just caught me off guard. I'm like, oh my God. And then they did like the Avatar bird thing. And then it got nasty, dirty, but still lovely at the same time. I mean, it had, it was a beautiful sequence. I mean, the pictures, it was very picturesque. It was very beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, they're not going there, are they? Oh my God. And he wants to kiss the nozzle. And oh my God, they are going there. And,
how are we going to make this work? It's so complicated. We can wing it.
You're dealing with an Exocomp. They've got an adapter for anything.
Yes.
So it's just, oh my God, that was so insane. And then at the end, I mean, aside from, could you see the way Peanut Hamper drives a space shuttle, by the way? She just bonks it into anything. She crashes it into the wall. She crashes it in the ground. She crashes it into other spaceships. She cannot drive. Don't let Peanut Hamper drive. But at the end, with all the other maniacal computers, I just died. This episode killed me. It was wonderful. So I'm the full 10.
I'm going to, first off, they had me when it's like, I will never leave you behind, Wilson. You and I forever. You're getting sacrificed.
Yes. Sells it out real quick.
So, yeah, I'm going to have to go along with Chief here. So we're going to both whip out our 10s for this one. Woo! This was a really good. We're not crossing swords, though.
Oh, no sword play.
So it was really a good episode. I agree with my science officer. It's becoming one of my favorite series by far. It's just that every episode, in my opinion, they are knocking it out of the park. So, number one, you should go ahead and get on that shuttle before it goes. I'm going to wrap things up here. I don't want you to be late going wherever you're going.
Want to know what the next week's episode's called?
Yeah. Oh, you actually have that. Yeah. What is it?
Crisis Point 2, Paradoxus.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I wonder if there were ever a Crisis Part 1.
It must be.
Well, we'll see.
Some point.
Well, we're coming to the end. I want to thank you for spending time with us. We appreciate you listening to the show every week, and as well as our comments and everything else. And we're quite proud of ourselves because if Patrick doesn't catch something, our listener Lana tends to catch, and she hasn't sent us anything either, which shows us how flawless we are. So thanks everyone for listening and for looking out for us when we're actually making personal events. What
Before we go. So there was a Crisis Point 1. It was season 1, episode 9, The Rise of Vindicta, which is where Mariner, went all badass, with the black paint and everything.
Yeah.
So that was Crisis Point 1, and it was a movie style. It was the first movie style episode that they have where they had
it was
the
wonderful.
lens flare.
They did the lens flares. They did the frame rate. It was totally cinematic. I can't wait to see that come back and do another story of Lower Decks.
Yes.
I'm
so
going
that's what
to
it's
look forward to next week's episode. Like you said, they've been knocking it out of the park. It's just been amazing. Thanks, everyone, for joining in. Don't forget to look for our Patreon. Our lowest tier is $1. If you can't afford $1 a month, then I don't know how you're listening to us.
Yeah, it's not $1 a day. It's $1 a month. It's like,
a month.
$1 for those guys because we like the show. That's awesome.
And the dollar goes to feeding the tribbles.
We love to feed the tribbles and spay and neuter them.
Just think of our show being $1 a month for a tip. Some of us will take the tip.
Some of us like to give you the tip.
So it all depends. That's what's going on there. So thank you for listening.
I said that.
I can. No, you want to get sick. Wait till Chief is bored and he's got a hard on and he spins plates on top of it with the music. That's actually kind of funny. Also, please stop by our store. We have our best-selling shirt, which is I'd like to mind meld you. And we're going to have even better stuff coming up here pretty soon.
Is that what the shirt says?
I think so. Isn't it?
We have to make another version of that shirt.
What is it? What does the shirt say?
I can mind meld you any day.
That's it.
Or you can mind meld me any day.
Any
or
day.
something
That's
like
it.
that.
Me any day.
We don't even know where
I would like to mind meld Jews. Another completely different shirt.
Yeah.
Mind meld Jews?
He said shoes.
Wait, what?
I was like, why are you mind melding Jews? I mean, what is this, a
like
racist thing?
Why not?
It's like he said shoes. Anyway, we have before the Ferengi that we have running the store tries to up the price. Please make sure you stop at the store. There's a link in the show notes. And as well, if you go to starfleetunderground.com, you'll be able to see the links there as well. So thank you for joining us. And please, if you're going to New York Comic Con, don't forget us. Send us some Murfs or the Picard figure. And remember, just don't have a great day, but make it so.
Wait, what? You don't want that to have a great week?
Right,
You changed it. You changed it today, sir. It's usually a week.
So you don't want us to have a good week?
Oh, okay. Hold on.
Just don't have a great week.
Yeah, we started.
Make it so.
Make it so. Okay. All right. We're going to start. And please remember, just don't have a great week, but make it so.
What about the month, sir?
The month?
How about a year?
We should have at least a good month.
How about a decade?
We got it.
Yeah, let's do this.
And if you can, support the show by going to patreon.com/Starfleet Underground. Lots of perks to choose from, and you might even like some of them. Starfleet Underground, beaming into a podcast feed near you. Log on to our website at starfleetunderground.com and send your comments and questions to thecollective@starfleetunderground.com. Follow us on Twitter at StarfleetUnderG and on Facebook and Instagram, we're Starfleet Underground.